Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Donovan's Daily Dose. I'm your favorite APUS history teacher, Mr. Donovan here, and today our video is going to be all about Henry Clay, one of the most well-known politicians in American history, a huge part of antebellum America, so this time before the Civil War. So let's dive in to learn more about his impact on America. So let's start first with political affiliation. So Henry Clay, pictured here, was one of the people that helped to create the Whig Party. And as you can see on his button, Henry Clay digs Whigs. And the reason he does this is because he helps to form this party in opposition to Andrew Jackson in the 1830s. He believes Andrew Jackson is grossly abusing his power due to the fact that he uses the veto more than the first 6 presidents combined. So the Whig Party rallies around Henry Clay, and a lot of his beliefs are the beliefs of the Old Federalist. So he is an industrialist and very Hamiltonian-like. So much so that when he is Secretary of State under John Quincy Adams, he is going to develop something called the American System. So this American System is 3 parts, and they all deal with the economic interests of America. First part of the American system is protecting American industries to tariffs. So a tariff is a tax on an imported good, which would then make foreign goods more expensive, protecting these newly emerging American industries, like the textile factories that are going to start taking off in the New England region during this time period. The second big way that he wants to help America's industry and economy as a whole is to develop new internal improvements in infrastructure. So this really looks like new canal building, early forms of roads, more railroads. So all of these things would help make America more industrialized. And then last but not least, he wants to continue the use of the national bank. This is going to be very Hamiltonian-like in economic philosophy. So if you know a little bit about Hamilton, you know a little bit about Clay's economic policies. So his legacy, beyond the economic influence he has, is really summarized by his nickname that historians give him, which is the Great Compromiser. And there are 3 major compromises he helps to broker during this antebellum period. The first big one is the Missouri Compromise in 1820. This helps to temporarily settle the debate over, will the institution of slavery expand westward in America? So thanks to the purchase of Louisiana by Thomas Jefferson in 1803, the United States has nearly doubled in size. So the question is, will slavery go with it? And in the Missouri Compromise, 3 big conditions are agreed upon. First, Missouri will become a slave state. Second, Maine will become a free state to keep a balance of power in Congress. And third, the 3630 line, Missouri's southern border, will be used as a line to determine where slavery will exist expanding westward. Anything below or anything south of Missouri's southern border will be considered a slave state. Anything north of it will be a free state. So that helps to solve kind of regional tensions between the north and south temporarily. He also helps with the compromise tariff of 1833. During the nullification crisis, when South Carolina is threatening to ignore the federal tariffs that were passed, Henry Clay does a good job of providing a compromise that appeases the South but also continues to benefit the North. In this compromise tariff of 1833, South Carolina agrees to stay in the Union, revoke their secessionist ideas. In return for this, South Carolina and other southern states are going to benefit from a gradual reduction in tariff rates over the course of roughly the next 9 years. And then last but not least, the Compromise of 1850. So after the Mexican-American War, the United States gains a ton of land. California, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, parts of Colorado, Wyoming, a lot of different parts of the American Southwest and West Coast that we have today. And the debate over will slavery expand westward into these territories comes up again. So there are 4 conditions that Henry Clay helps to broker. First, New Mexico and Utah territories will get to vote on whether or not they want slavery when they do apply for statehood, which is never used, but nonetheless, it is important. Second, we see a Fugitive Slave Act, a stronger one that's implemented by the federal government, promising the return of escaped slaves from the North back to the South. California will enter the Union as a free state, and there will be no more slave trade in Washington, D.C. Now, Henry Clay is really remembered as the Great Compromiser because he finds differences between the North and South, and he tries to find a way for each of them to come away with something they want. Unfortunately, Clay runs for president multiple times, but because of his continual compromise, he never wins the presidency, even though he tries 3 or 4 different times. Now, he does everything he can to keep the Union together, and he does not live to see the Civil War. He dies, unfortunately, in 1852, but his ultimate goal is to keep the Union together, and his 3 compromises and his legacy really helps to do this on a temporary basis. So that's Henry Clay, folks, the Great Compromiser who plays an enormous role in antebellum America. If you want to learn more about the Whig Party that he is a part of, check out this QR code. That will lead you to my other video that's all about Whigs. Have an awesome rest of your day, and thanks for watching.